What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Kenzie Gamefowl, back at you with another video on the Gamefowl Life YouTube channel, guys, where y'all get a lot of great informational tips, funny videos, and even some videos of chickens, guys. We try to educate and help people thrive in the Gamefowl world. Before we go any further, I need to ask you to do a few things. Hit that like button. That's the thumbs up. It's free. Do it for me. It helps these channels grow, and it pushes the good informational videos to the top while pushing the bad negative videos that don't really help nobody down to the bottom. Subscribe. Hit that subscribe button so you get these videos every time we drop them, and drop a comment after the video's over to let us know how you feel about the content, what we could do different, or if you have any questions, just feel free to drop them in the comments. Alright, so without any further ado, let's get straight into this video. I've had quite a few people ask me questions. They send us messages, and I encourage people to send me questions and ask questions, just how I said in the comments. People's been asking me over the last couple months, a month or so, what do I feel about this topic, and what should they do in this situation? And I've got it enough to where I feel like more people are running into this problem. So the guys ask me, they say, hey, we raise chickens up in the brooders. They know I raise in brooders, so people be trying to do it, and other people do it on their own that probably hadn't even seen this channel, but I try to help them out anyways. They say, hey, we raise our chickens in the brooders, trying to keep them healthy, away from the grown chickens and away from the dirt, and they do good in the brooders. But as soon as we put them down, they say they start dying off one by one. They said they'll be fine the first day, fine the second day. By the third, fourth, fifth, a week later, they're starting to lose chicks almost every day. Some people, multiple chicks during the day. I mean, every day. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, yeah, I ran into a similar problem like that one other time. And now these people, they are different. Some of them has game chickens, some of them has meat chickens, some of them has layer chickens that they just use for eggs. So everybody's got a little bit of different, sprinkled all in there. So the reason why I'm making this video is because I told them to do this, and I waited, and 2 of the 4 people has gotten back with me with results after doing what I told them, and they've had some good success. So this is why I'm coming to the video. That's why I'm coming to the YouTube channel with it, because I've used it in its work. Other people's used it in its work. So I'm telling y'all a tip that y'all can use if y'all need to. Y'all don't have to do this, but if y'all need to, y'all can always try this to help you if you're losing chicks, guys. But people always say, I do it and I preach it. I raise my chicks away from the big ones. Unless they hen hatch, they run with the hens. I raise mine in brooders because I feel like the diseases and, just different bacteria and everything that's on the ground, they are, a lot for a new biddy coming out of egg. Now, don't forget, biddies, they get, antigens and different things like that from their egg. Whenever they hatched out the egg, they get maternal antibodies, and it's they get them during incubation, and they develop different immunities to the process. It's like a trickle down effect. They'll gain them, as they getting older, as they're developing the egg, they getting these different antibodies that's going to help them fight a lot of the stuff that they're going to get by being hatched to a hen that's on the ground. But depending on what you got around, depending on what's on your farm, it can just be too much for your chicks. So that's why I just say raising a brooder, and once they get to a certain age, you kind of like work yourself down into the process. That's why I have 2 brooders off the ground. Then I'll put them onto the brooder that's on the ground, but again, away from the chickens. And once they get all that good enough, a little bit big, I'll put them out there near the chickens in the bigger brooder, and we've been had some pretty good success. But I want to talk to y'all a little bit about it, because chicks raised in brooders, they don't enjoy the same benefits as what the chicks born up with a hen gets, as far as, I'm not even just talking about the good nutrients from the land, from the bugs and everything, but when the chicks are kept in the brooder, that's an unnatural environment. You understand what I'm saying? And if later on they're brought into the flock and they die, You know, it can be caused from a few different things. They can be exposed to too many pathogens at once, resulting in diseases, and then they just ended up dying. That's where you'll get that one chicken dead today, 2 chickens dead tomorrow, another chicken dead the next day, is because it's just like a domino effect. It's just going to keep hitting the next one until you fix the problem. But what I can say that has helped me, and it has helped other people, you know, is a nice little tip that I'm going to tell you. And but first, I want to say, one of the main things you can do as a chicken breeder to better your program, because if you breeding game birds, most likely you in the game of conservation. You trying to prolong these breeds. You trying to, whether you Johnny Jumper's grandson and you trying to prolong, you trying to, you know, conserve his breeds for generations to come. You know, especially people in that predicament right there, like me, trying to preserve some of my grandmother's and grandfather's breeds. You got to be real careful about the chickens you breed, what you breed, how you breed them. And I wish I knew more information about that at the beginning, but I didn't. But I know now, so I can tell you all that you do not want to breed chickens that's susceptible to being sick. If you got to breed the chickens that's always sick and you got to give them medicines and stuff, you do not want to breed those chickens right there, because they're going to make weak immune systems, and you're just going to be spending all this money on medications, vaccinations, just trying to get them better, when you're just fighting a losing battle, when you can just go get some healthy chickens. You understand what I'm saying? You only want to breed, just say you hatch out 20 chicks, you put them out there on the yard, you got 10 chicks that you can tell they're not doing the best, but you got 10 chicks that you can't even tell there's nothing wrong, they're acting perfectly fine. Them 10 chicks that's not doing so well, you really don't want to make them any of your breeding stock. You want to dedicate your time and your breeding to the chickens that up under the most stress, they're not showing no effects. You can tell other chickens may be getting sickness, but these are not showing no signs of sickness. They're growing normally fast, they're not stunted, they're not sneezing, they don't have runny eyes, they're not doing anything like these other ones that's doing. Some of these has got runny noses, they're skinny, their wings is drooped down. These other 10, they perfectly fine. They look like they can go to the Derby tomorrow. That's what you want to stick to. That's what you want to breed, because that's going to breed good characteristics into your bloodlines for conservations on down the road. The immune system is going to be good and build up, and you're not going to waste money. You're just not going to be throwing money into a fire pit. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so if you can't control it any bit, try to breed good chickens. Try to breed good healthy chickens, ones that's, you know, immune to the diseases and things like that. But if you are brooder raising chicks and you're having that problem, you can take some soil, take your little pan of soil, or take your little pan and put some dirt from your chicken yard on it. Just a little old pan. Put it in your brooder. Let your biddies start getting accustomed to that soil, start getting accustomed to them pathogens that's in that chicken dirt as they're young, as they're a few days old. Let them scratch it. You know, that'll slowly build them up. Maybe it won't directly put all of them from the chicken yard, because they'll be walking into this part of the chicken yard, this part might stay muddy, this part might stay dry. Just take a nice little pan of soil, put it in there, get them used to building up that immune system more, because these are brooder chicks. These are not chicks being raised up by the hen, so they're not going to have the effect of, you know, getting it from the hen and stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Immunity, building that strong immune system, making those chickens immune to these diseases, these illnesses out here, is a big part of our breeding program, guys. Health is wealth. You know, I know a guy, he's raised up chickens, and he has cocks die every year because he's got some kind of sickness on his farm that he just can't get under control, and it goes on to his biddies. He loses a lot of biddies every year. He loses cocks and hens every year, and he's just trying to get it under control. But if he would have done a better job at separating sick fowl, quarantining them, and watching, you know, who comes to your house, what they're bringing, making sure they bleach their feet, you probably wouldn't have had a lot of them problems. You know, a lot of those problems are self-inflicted wounds that, you know, you just might never recover from. That's why it's so important to get it right the first time, because you might not have a second chance. You understand what I'm saying? So I just wanted to put that little tip out there for people, because, you know, breeding biddies and raising them up, that's your future to your farm. You want them to live as many as you want to, besides the ones you cull. And so if I can help you out, giving you a little tip that what works for me, and I know this worked for a few other people, it can work for you too if you need it. So if you like this video, if it feels you helped you out, make sure you like and subscribe, drop a comment, let me know what you think about the video. And also hit that like button, it helps these channel grow. Appreciate you. Peace.